Tago, Japanese player. Well, he's still 21 years of age. Both players towering over the umpire. Japanese number one. He played this Korean Open once previously. That was a couple of years ago, 2009, when he lost in the first round to Andre Tujuno of Indonesia. Chen last year was a semi-finalist, lost out to Peter Gera of Denmark in 3 games in that semi-final, but really caused a stir 12 months ago, Chen Long, when he beat his teammate Bao Chunlai, the number 4 seed, in the quarter-final stage. So Chen Long's, well, has enjoyed his time here last year. Seeded to make the semi-final again this year. But it was 2009 when this man from Xiamen in Fujian province, 2009, when he really announced his arrival onto the World Tour. There you can see confirmation of his seeding and world ranking. 2009, in 3 months, he beat the top 3 players in the world. He beat the world number 1 in the first round of the Indian Grand Prix Gold event. Followed that up by beating the Olympic champion Lin Dan in the China Games. And in the first round of the Malaysian Grand Prix, beat Taufik Hidayat, the former world and Olympic champion. Taufik Hidayat, of course, runner-up at the Malaysian Super Series event last week. So Kenichi Tago, 21-year-old, world ranking of 17, but he's only got 9 tournaments towards that world ranking. Not seeded here, of course, because only 8 seeds in the Super Series events. First ever Japanese player to win the Asian Junior Championships. That was in 2006, and as I was saying, followed that up a year later by reaching the final, getting the silver medal at the World Junior Championships in New Zealand, when he lost out to his opponent of today.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kenichi Tago, Japan. And on my left, Chen Long, China. Level, pay.
So our umpire from Hong Kong, our service judge from Korea, number 4 seed Chen Long, far side of the court from China. And as the umpire was making the announcements for the start of the match, just saw that these 2 players in senior badminton competition have played each other just the once. That was in the last 16 of the 2009 Danish Super Series event. It was 3 games on that occasion. I think it's fair to say, Ian, that both players have improved tremendously since that encounter in Denmark.
Yes, battle of the young guns this. I mean, I think the London 2012 games might come a little bit too quickly for these 2 young players, but these are 2 players, I think, who will have their eyes firmly set on Rio 2016, and of the current crop of talent around in the world, these 2 will probably be 2 of the favourites at that stage of their career. As you say, Jill, they've both improved a lot over the last 12 months. I wouldn't put too much into that last head-to-head meeting. Tago's grown a lot in confidence over the last 12 months. And this will be a really interesting matchup today.
Yes, you talk about his confidence. I mean, the biggest confidence booster was reaching the final of the All England Championships last year, where he lost out to Lee Chong-wei in the final, but he turns up in Birmingham for the All England Championships, his first ever tournament of 2010, because he hadn't played the first 2 Super Series events, and he reaches the final. Absolutely extraordinary quarter-final victory over Chen Jin, who of course is now the reigning world champion. Semi-final victory over Bao Chunlai. Lost out to the world number 1. That certainly is a confidence booster. Just wide.
Yes, I think the feeling in Japan after that was for several months he put a lot of pressure on himself after that to try and replicate that in every tournament. But young players, it takes time to stabilise that level of performance, particularly in the men's singles event. But there are signs towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year that he's starting to develop again and starting to play with a real authority on the court, starting to dictate games rather than respond to what his opponents are doing.
Service over.
Now, incidentally, both of these players in their first round matches here in Korea went the full distance. Chen Long had to play against Tien Min Nguyen, who's currently number 7 in the world rankings. It's just extraordinary. They had to play each other in the first round. That was an hour and 1 minute, with Chen Long winning through 21-10 in the deciding game. This man, Kenichi Tago, had to play against the Korean Song Ho. Dropped the opening game 22-24, but came back 21-12 in the decider in an hour and 2 minutes.
Service over.
Yes, a real reflection of the level of the tournament here. There were so many tough first round matches yesterday. Even world number 1 Lee Chong-wei was forced to 3 sets. There's no easy matches here.
Well, the umpire talking to Chen Long. Certainly wasn't talking in English.
Service over.
Impressive smash.
Yep, there we see his strength. He's very, very good on interception, both sides, both forehand and round the head. Very, very good ready positioning, very dynamic in his movement. First step's very strong from Chen Long when he's moving out to attack from the sides. It's a good example.
Pushed it wide. I have to say, and I did wonder prior to the start of the match whether the semi-final a week ago, when Chen Long, quite frankly, was given a masterclass by Lee Chong-wei, world number 1, beating Chen Long 21-9, 21-9 in that semi-final, whether that absolute drubbing he got in the semi-final, whether that would have affected him psychologically
6-5
coming into this event.
Yeah, I think as normally young players, they're quite resilient. I think what will have been more of a worry to him coming into this event was that first round match, because he'd got no time really to worry about what had happened last week, because as the number 4 player in the world playing the number 7 in the first round, you wouldn't expect that. So he had to be really on his game yesterday. I'm sure his preparation
7-5
was based very much around that first round match rather than having time to think and reflect on last week. There we saw in the previous 2 points how good he is at getting up on the mid-court for the interceptions, but certainly in that match against Lee Chong-wei last week, he was exposed short on the 2 sides. Lee Chong-wei hit some very, very good steep angles rather than trying to hit hard against him, and Chen Long had some difficulty getting down quickly to the sides in defence.
Service over. 6-7.
Good use of the body smash.
Yeah, and again, another good example. Very, very strong, getting up early to take the shuttle on that forehand side. His interception footwork there is very, very good.
Yeah, and into the lead for the first time in this opening game. Chen Long. Oh, that's a lovely smash.
9-7.
Chen Long finished 2010 ranked number 2 on the Super Series list, and is currently the highest ranked Chinese player. Number 4 in the world. Lin Dan's number 5. Chen Jin, the world champion, down at 8, and Bao Chunlai at 10. Still not bad for China. 4 players in the top 10 in the world in the men's singles ranking.
Yeah, that last point, just another example. Tago a little bit guilty here of playing to Chen Long's strengths. He's pushing a lot of shuttles off the net. I was just going to say, I'm sure his coach will be telling him to play the net a little bit more, get control of this game. And sure enough, that's what he's doing in this point.
Oof. Well, cool.
10-7.
It was desperately close, but desperately close isn't good enough. That's a good call by the line judge. 5 straight points now to Chen Long.
And again, Tago guilty on that return of serve of just pushing up onto the interception of Chen Long, and that's where he's really strong.
So a 4-point advantage on a run of 6 straight points, and Chen Long has the lead at the mid-game interval. Charles Ranza, Chinese coach, talking to his player at the moment. Masuda coaching Tago. The coach on the right, as we look at them, is Charles Ranza. Won the World Championships in Birmingham in 2003.
Top 3, 20 seconds.